Have you ever reached that point where both of you just stop talking? No fight, no dramatic breakup, just silence. It's strange, right? One day your phone used to light up with their messages, and now it's just blank. No notification, no call, no effort. Only the echo of your own thoughts. And what's even stranger, you don't even know who stopped first. It just happened. But here's the truth most people never realize. That silence you're in, it's not empty. It's full of lessons. It's full of power. Because when two people stop contacting each other, the game flips. This is not about revenge. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about something much deeper, a psychological shift that reveals who you really are and how much control you have over your emotions. The silence isn't punishment, it's transformation. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When communication ends, a new kind of communication begins, between you and yourself, between your ego and your peace, between what you want and what you truly deserve. Because silence does something powerful. It removes the noise, it removes the drama, and it forces you to face the truth. Not about them, but about you. Maybe you've been the one chasing. Maybe you've always been the one trying to keep things alive. But when the conversation dies and you resist the urge to reach out, you start realizing how strong you can actually be. That's when growth begins. That's when emotional maturity takes root. That's when you begin to understand Stoicism, not as some cold philosophy, but as a way of mastering yourself. Seneca once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." And right now, you're not fighting them. You're fighting your impulses. You're fighting your need for validation. You're fighting to reclaim your peace. So before we dive deep into how this silence shifts the entire dynamic, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is my strength. Number 1. The beginning of silence. Sometimes endings don't arrive with a storm. They arrive quietly. There's no yelling, no broken promises, no harsh goodbye. Just a slow fading out. Two people who once shared everything begin to share nothing. The calls stop. The messages dry up. The conversations that once felt endless now sit like ghosts inside the chat box. What was once alive has gone still, not dead, but frozen. This is the beginning of silence. It's not loud, yet it shakes everything inside you. At first, you don't even notice it. You tell yourself, maybe they're busy. Maybe tomorrow. You wait. You check your phone a few more times than you'd like to admit. But the truth quietly reveals itself. They're not reaching out. And for the first time, neither are you. The silence that used to terrify you now surrounds you like cold air, unfamiliar but strangely peaceful. You start to wonder, what happened? But that's the wrong question. The real question is, what's happening now, inside me? Because the moment you both stop contacting each other, something subtle but powerful begins to unfold. You're no longer reacting, you're observing. You're no longer chasing, you're watching. The noise of constant communication used to distract you from yourself. Now, without it, you're forced to listen to your own thoughts. And that's where real clarity begins. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's what this silence offers you, a retreat, a space where you can see your emotions without judgment. You start realizing how much of your energy went into keeping a connection alive that was already fading. You start noticing that your peace no longer depends on another person's response. It's not about pride, it's about presence. You're learning to sit with stillness instead of running from it. At this stage, it's easy to confuse silence with distance, but they're not the same. Distance separates bodies. Silence separates illusions. It strips away pretense. It reveals who's grounded in self-control and who's controlled by impulse. This is where emotional power begins to shift, quietly, invisibly, but unmistakably. So if you find yourself here, standing inside that quiet space where nothing seems to move, don't panic. Something is moving. You. The silence that feels like an ending is actually a doorway. Number 2, the outer stillness, the inner shift. On the surface, everything looks calm. No arguments, no calls, no emotional chaos. Just two people existing in their separate worlds, pretending everything is fine. But beneath that calm surface, something far more profound begins to move. A quiet rearranging of inner energy. This is the paradox of silence. Outside, nothing is happening, but inside, everything is changing. When contact stops, your mind enters unfamiliar territory. It doesn't have its usual distractions, no constant checking, no overanalyzing every word or emoji. For the first time, your attention turns inward, and that's where transformation truly begins. The silence tests your emotional balance. It asks you, can you hold your peace when there's uncertainty? Can you stay grounded when there's no reassurance? Can you trust your worth when there's no validation? The person who learns to answer these questions calmly wins a battle that no one else can see. The mind wants to fill empty spaces with noise, thoughts, stories, assumptions, but Stoicism teaches you to resist that impulse. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's the essence of the inner shift. You begin to recognize that your reactions were never about them. They were reflections of your own inner state. The silence shows you how addicted you were to movement, to external attention, to control. And when that control disappears, you finally confront the truth of your own emotions. It's uncomfortable at first, almost like withdrawal, but the longer you stay still, the clearer you see. You start to notice your breathing, your thoughts, your patterns. You begin to see how much peace was always available to you, only hidden beneath the noise. This quietness is not emptiness, it's space. Space for growth, self-respect, and balance. As the external world stays silent, your inner world slowly learns to speak with clarity and confidence. Seneca once wrote, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." That's what this stage brings. The calm that doesn't depend on circumstances. The calm that comes from knowing you can stand still and not fall apart. Because silence doesn't weaken you, it strengthens your foundation. The mind that once feared being alone now learns the beauty of solitude. And from that solitude, your power quietly rises. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I am calm within. Number 3, the chaser and the avoidant, the old pattern. Every relationship dances between two energies, pursuit and withdrawal. One reaches forward while the other steps back. One fears loss, the other fears being consumed. This invisible rhythm shapes the entire connection. The chaser holds the string tight, terrified that letting go means disappearing. The avoidant holds the same string loosely, terrified that closeness means losing themselves. It's not love that keeps them bound, it's fear, disguised as attachment. When the talking stops, the pattern finally becomes visible. You begin to see how one person's effort feeds the other's distance, and how both are trapped in the same emotional loop. The chaser believes connection must be maintained at any cost. pouring energy into constant reassurance. The avoidant believes safety exists in distance, creating emotional walls that keep intimacy away. Together, they sustain an exhausting cycle that feels like control, but is actually chaos. Silence is the moment that breaks this loop. Without messages, there's no one to chase. Without pursuit, there's no one to avoid. The entire dynamic collapses. And in that collapse, truth appears. The chaser realizes how much of their self-worth was invested in being chosen. The avoidant discovers that isolation doesn't create peace, it creates emptiness. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This silence becomes the first real taste of that freedom. The chaser begins to understand that love isn't about earning attention. It's about offering presence without desperation. The avoidant learns that independence isn't about avoidance. It's about staying open without fear. The roles that once felt fixed start to dissolve, because both are forced to face themselves without the other as a mirror. The emotional tension that used to fuel the connection now turns inward, pushing each person toward reflection instead of reaction. The chaser learns patience, the avoidant learns empathy. And somewhere in that space between absence and understanding, the relationship, or at least the people in it, start to transform. What used to be a power struggle becomes an invitation for balance. The silence exposes the truth that neither control nor distance defines love. Only awareness does. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look well into yourself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if you will always look there." This is that moment of looking inward, where both realize that peace cannot be negotiated through words, only earned through self-awareness. Number 4. When both go silent. There comes a rare moment when neither side reaches out. The chasing ends, the withdrawing ends, and what remains is stillness, shared, heavy, and transformative. When both go silent, something remarkable begins. For the first time, the energy between two people stops being pulled in opposite directions. No one is begging to be seen, no one is running to escape. The emotional tug-of-war simply falls apart, and in that collapse lies the beginning of genuine clarity. It's an uneasy calm at first. You expect the other person to break it, to send that one message that will make things feel normal again. But as days pass and nothing happens, the silence turns into a mirror. You start seeing the truth without words. The person who used to hide behind emotional distance starts to feel that distance closing in on them. The one who once found comfort in pulling away now feels the discomfort of emptiness. Their sense of control begins to tremble because silence gives them no signal to respond to, no pattern to predict, no reassurance that you are still there. Meanwhile, you, the one who used to reach out first, begin to breathe differently. The anxiety that once ruled your thoughts starts to fade. You realize that nothing terrible happens when you stop chasing. The world doesn't fall apart. Your peace doesn't depend on their presence. You start to see that calmness is not weakness. It's strength disguised as restraint. The moment both stay silent is the moment the power dynamic flips. The avoidant loses the comfort of control. The anxious one gains the gift of composure. This is not revenge, it's balance. It's the universe resetting the emotional scale between two people who once lost their equilibrium. Seneca once wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In silence, you become your own master. You stop negotiating your value through someone else's attention. You stop needing to be heard to feel worthy. This mutual quiet is not the end of a relationship, it's the end of emotional dependency. It's the place where both are forced to confront what they've avoided, themselves. And whoever learns to sit inside that discomfort without breaking becomes unshakable. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I choose calm power. Number 5. The power shift. Power in relationships has never truly been about control. It's about emotional balance. When communication fades and both sides remain silent, that balance begins to tilt in unexpected ways. The person who once felt in charge starts to lose their sense of direction. The silence they believed gave them authority now becomes the very thing that unsettles them. Without reaction, without response, their influence begins to dissolve. They look at their phone expecting a message that never comes, a call that doesn't ring, a sign that you're still orbiting around them, but nothing happens. That's when realization strikes. Control built on attention was never real control. It was dependence disguised as dominance. Meanwhile, the one who used to feel powerless discovers something extraordinary: stability. By holding back from reaching out, by choosing composure instead of panic, you start reclaiming the ground you once surrendered. You learn that your worth doesn't shrink when someone stops noticing you. It expands when you stop chasing validation. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength that truth hits deeper when you live it. You can't command someone's actions, but you can master your reactions. That's where the real power lies. Not in being the loudest voice, but in being the quietest one who doesn't break. The silence shifts the entire dynamic. The avoidant, who relied on your pursuit to feel secure, begins to feel uncertainty. They start replaying moments, questioning decisions, wondering if they misjudged your strength. On the other hand, you, who once depended on their acknowledgement to feel seen, begin to find validation within. The irony is beautiful. The more you detach, the more magnetic your energy becomes. People sense strength when you no longer beg for attention, when you radiate peace instead of need. This balance doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from awareness. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And bravery in this context means having the courage to stay calm when everything in you wants to react. The power shift isn't about winning or losing, it's about evolving beyond the need to play the game. The silence crowns the one who learns restraint. It humbles the one who mistook distance for control. Number 6. The philosophy of self-control. Silence becomes powerful only when guided by discipline, and that discipline finds its foundation in Stoicism. This philosophy is not about suppressing emotions or pretending to feel nothing. It's about mastering the space between stimulus and response. It teaches that your peace cannot be borrowed from anyone else's behavior. Stoicism whispers one unshakable truth: what you can control ends at your own mind. Everything beyond that boundary is merely noise. When you understand this, silence no longer feels like punishment. It becomes your weapon of clarity. The Stoics believed that the highest form of strength is calmness under chaos. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This statement carries immense weight in moments when your instincts demand reaction. Instead of chasing, you breathe. Instead of explaining, you pause. Instead of proving your worth, you embody it. That is Stoicism in practice, responding from wisdom rather than emotion. The quiet you hold now is not coldness, it is composure. It is the understanding that love without boundaries becomes attachment, and attachment without awareness becomes suffering. Through silence, you learn detachment, and through detachment, you discover freedom. You stop expecting others to regulate your emotions because you realize that self-control is the only true form of power that cannot be taken away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Those words define the simplicity of Stoic living, restraint guided by integrity. Silence, then, is not about proving indifference. It is about choosing dignity. It allows you to stand firm without resentment, to feel deeply yet not be ruled by feeling. The more you practice this, the more you start seeing how every moment of restraint strengthens your emotional armor. People mistake silence for weakness, but Stoicism reveals that it is strength refined by reason. In a world obsessed with instant reactions, choosing patience is an act of rebellion. Each time you refuse to let external chaos dictate your inner state, you reinforce your independence. That is how you transform pain into purpose and rejection into resilience. You stop trying to win arguments because your energy is no longer invested in proving anything. You've outgrown the need to be understood. You've evolved into someone who doesn't need noise to validate truth. Number 7, the avoidance reaction. When silence holds, the person who once kept distance begins to respond, not out of care, but out of curiosity, confusion, and habit. The avoidant who thrived on emotional distance starts noticing the absence, the lack of immediate validation, the disappearance of the predictable chase. Their security, once rooted in control, begins to tremble. They may send a like, view a story, or drop a sudden message, testing if your attention still orbits them. This is not a declaration of feelings. It is a test, a silent probe to see if old dynamics can be revived. Yet for you, the one who has learned restraint, these small signals are no longer hooks, they are mirrors. You see their intentions clearly without reacting impulsively. You no longer need to interpret every action as a reflection of your value. The moment you resist responding immediately, the avoidant experiences something entirely new: uncertainty. The rules of the old game no longer apply. The familiar patterns of chase and retreat are broken. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Silence becomes your strongest statement, a demonstration of self-possession. The avoidant begins to question assumptions, second-guess their control, and feel vulnerability. The same vulnerability they tried to avoid in the first place. Meanwhile, you gain insight into your own progress. You recognize that your equilibrium does not rely on external signals. You understand that your inner world is your domain, and that their reaction is neither your responsibility nor your measurement of success. The balance of energy slowly shifts. What once was a source of anxiety now becomes a source of empowerment. Your calm, deliberate inaction challenges their sense of security, and in doing so, restores the natural order that was missing in the relationship. Silence no longer appears as emptiness. It becomes a tool for transformation. Each unreturned message and each ignored test reinforces the lesson that your presence and worth are not negotiable commodities. Epictetus once said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This is the principle at work, focusing on your actions, not their responses. You are no longer drawn into emotional manipulation because you have learned to stand firm in stillness. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. I control my world. Number 8, your growth and self-mastery. Silence is not empty, it is fertile ground. When both parties withdraw, the space between them becomes a mirror reflecting your true self. For the first time, you can observe without distortion, feel without dependence, and think without external interference. You begin to see patterns you never noticed before, habits rooted in fear, impulses driven by insecurity, and moments where your self-worth was outsourced to someone else's attention. As the silence stretches, you start reclaiming your emotional autonomy. You realize that your value does not rise or fall based on texts, calls, or reactions from another person. Your worth is inherent, unshakable, and independent. This is growth, not in words or gestures, but in mastery over the mind and heart. Each moment you resist the urge to reach out strengthens your inner foundation. You are learning to choose calm over chaos, reflection over reaction, and patience over panic. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That principle now applies to your inner life. Being your own center, honoring your boundaries, and cultivating restraint are acts of strength, not weakness. You stop chasing approval and start generating confidence from within. The anxieties that once dominated your thoughts begin to dissolve, replaced by clarity and groundedness. You notice a shift in how you perceive challenges. What once felt threatening now feels like an opportunity to refine your self-control. Your emotional landscape becomes a place of calm authority, where impulses are noticed, not obeyed, and desires are tempered by awareness. The absence of constant communication teaches a profound lesson. True resilience is internal, not reactive. You start acting from principles rather than emotions, making choices rooted in dignity, integrity, and self-respect. You discover that the quiet moments, once feared, are in fact your teachers. They reveal how much strength you possess when unshaken by external influence. Stoicism frames this perfectly. Your attention, your choices, and your composure are always within your power, while everything else is beyond your control. By mastering your own mind, you reclaim your life. Silence is not absence. Silence is transformation. When words cease and reactions fade, something far deeper emerges: clarity, strength, and self-respect. It is in these quiet spaces that ego dissolves, control shifts, and true worth is discovered. What once felt like emptiness is now a proving ground for resilience. You have seen it unfold. The chase ends, the avoidance falters, and the balance of power quietly flips. The one who sought control now questions it. The one who feared abandonment now stands unshaken. This is the ultimate lesson of silence. It doesn't argue, it doesn't explain, it doesn't chase. It simply reveals. Every text you resisted sending, every impulse you contained, every moment you chose composure over reaction has led you to this point. You are no longer defined by someone else's attention. You are defined by your presence, your choices, and your mastery over your mind. Seneca once said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." And now you have it. This is not revenge. This is growth. This is self-mastery. Let this moment remind you that peace and strength are cultivated internally, not borrowed externally. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more insights on mastering yourself. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. Silence is my power.